everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for another week of Pilates plus Physio. Here we are now, week 11 into lockdown. Things starting to gradually ease up, but I don't think we're anywhere near getting back to classes yet. So here we are, another half an hour or so of exercise for you to do with me. Starting off just in sitting, so just making sure you're sitting right up on your sitting bones. If you're a little bit tight through your hips or your back, you might be better sitting up on your yoga brick or a nice big fat book. So just taking a moment just to sit. Let the knees drop a little bit. Think of just gently lifting your breastbone, your sternum up towards the ceiling. Just focus on your breathing a moment. So just a gentle breath in and out. Maybe as you breathe in, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you breathe out, just let them drop. And again, gentle breathe in, shrug the shoulders up. And breathe out and let them go. And again, gentle breath in, shrugging up. And let go. Just let them go rather than thinking of drawing them down your back. And one more. Shoulders up towards your ears. And then release. Keep the shoulders nice and soft. Just turn your head one way as far as you can. Look over your shoulder at the wall behind. All the way back round. Look over the other shoulder. And back. And again, twisting right round one way and coming all the way back and twisting around the other way and back. Good, okay. Come down to the mat. Again, pop your head on a little thin book or a little thin pillow if you're a little bit stiff through your upper back and neck. So you're just lying on your back, knees bent up. Maybe just take your feet to the edges of the mat and drop the knees in together. So your knees are resting on each other. Think of just sinking down into the mat. Imagine you've thrown a whole big bucket full of leaves up into the air and then just gradually drifting down towards the floor and just settling down into the floor. You want the same with your body. You're just letting your body sink down into the ground. Again, you could put your hands on your upper tummy, so sort of find the ribs, just come down below them, so you're on the soft bit. And just gentle breathing underneath your hands. And just sort of scan down through your body, check you're not holding anything tight. So sort of start with the top of your head. Neck and shoulders, they're just soft. Let your back sink into the ground. Knees just resting on each other. There's no tension behind the knee. And you've just got your feet resting on the mat. That's good. Okay. And then maybe bring the feet in so that your feet are now sort of lined up with your sitting bones. You've got the thighs parallel. Take your hands down a little bit lower. Find your hip bones, which should be sticking up towards the ceiling. Imagine that clock face sitting on your lower tummy. So 12 by your belly button, 3 and 9 on your hip bones, 6 on your pubic bone. And think of a marble on the clock. And you're just gently going to roll the marble down towards the 6 and then back up towards the 12. So the little gap between your back and the floor gets bigger as the marble rolls to the 6 and it gets smaller as you roll the marble to the 12. So just gentle tipping the pelvis forward and back Nice and smooth, don't work too hard, shouldn't require a lot of muscle effort. You know, you're lying on the mat, you're supported. Just small, little, deep muscles working. That's good. Okay, come back into the middle. So you've got a little bit of a hollow in your lower back. If you had a snooker triangle maybe on your lower tummy, the one ball is resting right in the middle of that triangle. So it's not tipping one way or the other now. Now think of rolling that marble from your right hip bone across to the left and then back over to the right. So again, you're just getting the pelvis tipping this time from one side to the other. Or if you think of a boat sitting in the harbour and it's just rocking back and forward from one side to the other. So you can just feel that gentle shift in pressure underneath you. Your knees are staying pretty well still. Really important movement for normal walking. The one side of the pelvis has to come forward as the other side drops back. So you're just reminding your body that it can do that. That's great. Okay. Come back into the middle. Pop both hands underneath your head. So you've got your thumbs down sort of on your neck. Just dig your thumbs into that sort of tight fleshy bit underneath your skull. Maybe give that a little bit of a massage. Just release that slightly. It's quite nice. It's loosening things up a bit. Okay, elbows right back. Knees bent. We're going to do just a little curl up. So gently tuck in the chin, curl your head and shoulders. Look down over the top of the knees. And release all the way down. And again, tuck in the chin, get the pelvic floor muscles drawing up and in, curl up. And release down. Those wanting to make it harder, you could come up, come down about a quarter, come back up, come down about a half, and back up. Come down about 3/4 and back up, and finally all the way down to the floor. So think about using your tummy muscles, that straight muscle going from the ribs down onto the front of the pelvis, all the way up, down a little bit, back up, down a bit further, back up, down a little bit more, elbows staying right back and wide, and then right the way down to the mat. Couple more of those, all the way up. Watch you're not pulling on your head and neck. You're just using your hands to cradle your head. Remember, your head's quite heavy by the weight of a 10-pin bowling ball, so just use your hands to take a little bit of the weight of the head. And one more, all the way up, down a little bit, back up. Down halfway, back up, almost all the way to the floor, back up, right the way down to the mat. Lovely. Let the neck release, just gently roll your head from one side to the other. That's good. Okay. Going from there to an oblique curl up. So someone's asked for a little bit more abdominal work, so we're doing it this morning. So obliques, hands behind your head again, elbows right back and wide, tuck in the chin. This time you're coming up and across, front of your shoulder towards the opposite hip, and release down. Little chin nod, up and across to the other side. Remember, sore necks, if you don't want to do this, you could do the knee roll from side to side like we sometimes do. Up and across, and release down, up and across to the other side and down. Those wanting to make this harder, you could slightly flatten your back into the mat, bring one leg up, bring the other leg up. So that's your starting position. So tabletop position with the legs, elbows right back and wide. Same again, tuck in the chin, up and across, stretch one leg out away from you, release down, up and across to the other side. So elbows staying One elbow staying back on the mat, the other one staying back where you can hardly see it. Crisscross tummy muscles this time doing the work. Back just slightly flattened into the mat. So you're just in imprint. Should feel those tummy muscles doing some work. Up and across, elbows staying back. Think of really reaching right out with that leg, as if you're pushing something away from you. One more. Great. Bring the knees up, ankles crossed. Gently rock your knees towards your chest. And then, if you can, maybe take your nose in little tiny circles. So about the size of a sort of golf ball with your nose. Circling your nose, rocking the knees. A bit like patting your tummy and rubbing your head. Or rubbing your head, patting your tummy. And then circle your nose the other way. That's good. Okay, pop the legs down. If your feet stick on your mat, you might want to just roll the mat up a little bit so you get your feet onto the floor. Both arms up towards the ceiling. Start off, just take both arms back over the top of your head towards the wall at the back and come back up. So you've got a little bit of a hollow in your lower back. The ribs are staying down and relaxed. Both arms going back. And then you could add in sliding both legs down at the same time. So both legs down, both arms back. Both arms back, both legs going down the mat. Pull your toes up, press out through the heels at the end. So that little gap between your lower back and the mat doesn't really change, regardless of whether you've got the arms up or whether the arms are going back over the top of the head. Just normal breathing. That's good. Okay. Pop the mat back underneath your feet. And knees slightly bent, feet down on the mat, both arms up towards the roof to start with. We're going to do both arms back over the top of your head. We're aiming for a full roll up. Don't worry if you can't do it. So bring the arms up, tuck in the chin, anchor your heels onto the floor, roll all the way up. Sit tall at the top, lift up from the hips, round your back, roll all the way down. Arms back over the top of your head. So nice and smooth, chin tucking in, pelvic floor muscles engaging. Rolling up, sit tall at the top, and roll back down again. If you can't come all the way up, just come up as far as you're happy. If you can nearly come up but not quite, you could either grab a hold of your trousers or just behind your legs and pull up with that, and then use your tummy muscles to control things as you go down. Nice and smooth. Just watch you're not sort of flinging the arms over the top and trying to use that momentum to get you up. That's good. And roll all the way down nice and slow. Try and go down really slowly. Great. Okay. And then turn over onto your side. So, lying on your side, underneath arm, right up above your head, making like a little pillow for your arm if you can, for your head. Legs out straight, make sure you can just see your feet when you look down. Top hand really light, big gap between your ear and your shoulder. Start with the side leg lift, point the toes, top leg up, foot up, pressing out through the heel. Again, just normal breathing. Top hand nice and light. Okay, so you could stick with that, or you could go on to a semi-mermaid. It's quite a strong exercise. If your back's feeling a bit irritable, stick with just doing the top leg. Otherwise, top leg up, underneath one up to meet it, lower both slowly. So the tip is to make sure your hips stay on top of each other. Quite tempting sometimes to roll back a little bit. Top hand nice and light, top leg up, underneath one up, lower both together. Watch the shoulders not joining in. Top leg up, underneath one up, lower both together. And again, top one up, underneath one up, lower both. And one more, top one up, underneath, lower both. Good, good. Okay. Turn over onto the other side. So just do the top leg if you want to. You just do the single leg on its own. So underneath arm, right up and back if it goes. If it doesn't go, arm in front, rest your head on the brick or the pillow. Legs straight, make sure you can see your feet when you look down, then look back to the front. Big gap between your ear and your shoulder. Side leg lift. Point the toes, top leg up, foot up, pressing out through the heel. Point the toes, top leg up, foot up, press out through the heel. So you can stick with that, or top leg up, underneath one up to meet it, lower both slowly. Top one up, underneath one up, lower both slowly. So top leg you're using outside muscles of the thigh, underneath leg you're using that inner thigh muscle. Side of the waist doing quite a bit as well, so good one for trimming the side of the waist. Couple more of those. Lovely. Okay, and then turn over so you're lying on your tummy. So, hands on the mat, chin tucking in, legs apart a little bit. Just gently press into your hands. Come up into like a little yoga cobra. And down. So think of your nose sort of drawing a line along the mat, up the wall in front. And coming down. So nice one for getting your back gently bending backwards. That's good. And then up onto hands and knees. So bring the hands back a little bit, press into the hands. Knees on the edges of the mat, if your mat's not too wide, big toes together. Bottom all the way back to your heels. Nice stretch back. If your knees don't like it, maybe curl on your side, bring your knees to your chest. Head right down. Gently breathing. Breathing maybe into the back of the ribs here. Great. Okay, come up onto hands and knees. So, hands underneath your shoulders, knees under your hips. Make sure nothing's coming out too much. So, think of really pushing the floor away from you. Chin tucking in, head in line with the rest of your back, a little bit of a hollow in your lower back. You can just gently take the weight more onto one side, more onto the other side. So really feeling that weight going down through the arms. And then you can just gently wriggle your bottom from side to side, taking the hips one way then the other. Lovely. Okay. Tuck the toes underneath. Push the floor away from you. Draw your tummy up away from the mat. Lift the knees, just a couple of inches, if that. Hold there. Going to hold for 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. If that feels too strong, you could just do the normal, taking the leg behind or taking the arm up in front. So let's go again. Press into your hands, tummy up away from the floor, lift the knees, holding it there. Just make sure you can still move your head. 3, 2, 1, and down. Try not to thump down. Your knees might not like that too much. And again, shoulders down away from your ears. Draw your tummy away from the mat. Hover the knees. Hold it there. 3, 2, 1. Pop the knees down. Feet down flat. Bottom all the way back to your heels again. Maybe give the wrists a bit of a shake if they're complaining. That's good. Okay, come back up onto hands and knees. Take the hands a little bit further out in front and a little bit wider. We're going to just do a plank. It's a good abdominal exercise. Don't do it very often. It's not terribly functional. I mean, it gets the tummy muscles really contracting, but in a still position, which you don't need that often in kind of day-to-day life unless you're a rugby player or something like that. So, keep the chin tucked in. Press into the hands, tuck the toes underneath, lift the knees, coming up. So you're aiming for a straight line, head, shoulders, bottom, out through the heels, or a diagonal straight line. Hold there. Touch the knees down. You could then bend the elbows, lower your nose down to the floor. Keep the tummy in, push up on your hands, back up to the knees. So you could just hold there if you wanted to, or tuck the toes underneath, back up into your plank. So if you can get someone else to look at you, often people end up with their bottom right up too high. So if you can get someone to look at you and tell you whether you're in a straight line, that's quite useful, because often you think you're in the right place and you're not. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, lower slowly down to the floor. Those who are feeling really strong, you could obviously go straight from your plank down to the floor and push straight back up again, like a press up, but I can't do that. So we're doing the slightly easier one. Press into the hands, up onto the knees, tummy in, lift the knees, hold there. Keep that feeling of really pushing the floor away from you. That's good. Bring one knee in, other one in, bottom all the way back to your heels. Give yourself a nice stretch. Creep the fingers a little bit further forward. Maybe take your left hand over to the right side of the mat, left hand on top of the right. Hold there, breathe into the left side of the ribs. Lovely. Creep your fingers over to the left side of the mat, right hand on top of the left. Breathe into the right side of your ribs. Good. Shuffle your fingers back into the middle. Uncurl back up. Come back over onto your back a moment. Just lying on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the ground. Your feet fairly close to your bottom. We'll just do a couple of spine curls just to loosen things off. So press into your feet, curl your bottom up. Hold there. And roll back down again, one bone at a time. And again, press into your feet. So think of your heels, little toe, base of the big toe, all pressing into the mat. Peel your back up. Hold it there. And roll down. If you feel sort of crampy in the back of your thighs and the hamstrings, So you can let go with those. Think of using the buttocks a little bit more. Just nice and smooth. Nice one for just getting your back moving after things like the plank where you're just sort of locking everything together. And just going one more. Lovely. Okay. And then either turn onto your side, come up into sitting, or just hold behind the thigh, tuck in the chin, gently roll up. Sit right up nice and tall. Soles of the feet together this time. So sit tall. Again, you can sit up on your brick or your book if you're a bit tight through your hips or your back. Let the knees drop. So gentle inner thigh stretch. And then just slowly come up into standing a moment. Haven't done a lot of balancing yet this morning. So, stand nice and tall. Maybe press your hands together, elbows sticking out, feet together, chin tucking in, balloon on the back of your head. Reach both hands right up towards the roof. All the way up, and then open them out as wide as you can. Think about making as big a space between your fingertips as you possibly can. All the way down. And again, hands together. Push up towards the sky. Those feeling balanced, you could take your left heel off the floor. If you still feel steady, think of a puppet strings tied to your knee. Bring the knee up. And then open right out through the hands. And pop the foot down. So feet, feel the bottom of your feet on the mat. Hands together. Press into your hands. Stretch up to the sky. Peel your right heel off the mat. So you can just do that. Or float the right knee up in front. Lovely. Open right out through the arms. Good challenge for the balance. And pop the leg down. Maybe this time we'll just take the leg up. So either just take your heel off or bring the knee up. And then we'll reverse with the arms out to the side and all the way up. Hands together, bring them down, pop the leg down, arms down beside you, take the heel off, fold the knee, arms out to the sides, right up, palms together, bring the hands down in front of you. Great. Both feet down, let the arms relax, chin on your chest, draw in the tummy hard, roll down as if you were going to touch your toes. Dangle there for a moment or two if your back's happy. Make sure your head's nice and floppy. Let the hair dangle. It's getting longer and longer. Scoop in the tummy, unfurl right the way up. Head coming up last. And again, chin on your chest. Roll down. Down, down, down. Even weight through the feet. Let the arms dangle when you're there. Draw the tummy in hard. Unfurl right back up. Head coming up last. Gently shrug the shoulders up. And let go. And again, shrug up. And let go. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully see you again very soon. Okay, bye.